So hi guys, today I'll be telling you about AWS Image Resizing using AWS SNS, using AWS S3 buckets and AWS S3 bucket and AWS Lambda function. Lambda is serverless function. So yeah, so let me just come back to my AWS panel. Yeah, so firstly, we need to make two S3 buckets. I'll firstly tell you about how the thing is that how I have made it. So firstly, you need a two AWS bucket. One is to store the image which you want to resize, and the other is destination bucket in which you want to put the resized image. So now you could see here I have made two buckets. One is Prati source. This one is a source bucket in which I'll put my image which I have to resize, and this is a pretty destination bucket. In this bucket, it will be the image which is resized. It was gonna get stored. Now, what we are gonna do is we're just gonna go and create a Lambda role, which I've already created. I'll just show it to you. Yeah. You could just create a role in this, and you could see this is the role I have created. You can just go to create role and create a similar role. And in the role, you have to add permission. The three permissions I have added. One is S3 full access, one is SNS full access, and one is Lambda basic execution rule. So what it does is S3 full access is that it could just take a image from the source bucket and put it in the destination bucket. So that is what the S3 full access role will do. SNS full access role is now I also want my image to send me a notification. So for that, I have given a SNS full access role to this. And the Lambda basic execution rule is just that because I want to resize the image using Lambda function. I want to trigger Lambda. That is why I have put this. So now these three I have attached to this role and I have named it as resize image Lambda function rule. Now, once you create these three, once you create this role and add these three permission to that role, what you have to do is you have to just go to your Lambda. You have to create a function. Now I've already created a function for you to know you better, but you could just create a function as well. So you could see if you want to create a new function, you could just go to create function and you could go from scratch. You could name it anything. Just make sure you do it in Python 3.9 or any of it. But right now I'm choosing 3.9, and then you do this. And for the permissions, you have already know that the execution rule which you have done the role resize image Lambda role. So you have to choose this role, and then you have to create a function. Just this is what you have to do. Then you could see this is the function that I have created. Now, if you want, you could just trigger a function. There's this add trigger function. So now what you want is the Lambda should get triggered whenever the object is created in your source bucket. So you could like add trigger here, and you could like click write S3 and write S3, and you choose your bucket name from which bucket you want the Lambda to get triggered. And yeah, then you click on acknowledge and you add it. Then the S3 bucket will be appeared here. So you could see I have added the trigger function here, and you could see on the configuration tab trigger I have added this bucket name. I have my source bucket added here. Now what else do we have to do? Now we have to go to SNS. I'll just write here SNS so that I could get the notification on my email. I want that whenever the image is resized, I want it to get notified on my email. So I just go to SNS, and you could see I've already created a topic. You could create it a topic from here. Yeah, so you create a topic from here. You could give it any name, just like I have given resize image SNS topic. and just the basic, you don't have to change anything. After you have created this topic, you have to create a subscription. Now what subscription is just something in which we have to provide your endpoint. The endpoint is what I have provided here is my email address. So once you add this, you'll receive a email on your Gmail ID, whichever Gmail ID you have provided. So that I have selected email here, and the endpoint I've selected is my personal email. So once I've created the subscription, I'll get a notification on my Gmail ID saying that this email has been asking you to subscribe and all. So you have to just confirm there, and then you'll be able to see a confirm tag here. So this is what SNS have to do. Now you just have to, in SNS it's nothing. You just have to provide your endpoint protocol and endpoint email address, and then you just have to confirm it from whichever endpoint you have given it. So this is what you have created. Now you go back to your Lambda function, and now you want to get notified. So if you can even write it on a add destination, but then it will be hard coded. So before that, I just want to know you that you could see the code here, and you have to provide your own code for the things to work. So right now there's no code. So what you could do is, so there's this code which is being provided by the AWS itself. So I'll just provide you the link of that in the description. You could download that file and you could upload it. It is already provided on the AWS documentation. So I have already downloaded the zip file. So I'll just upload it from the zip file. I'll upload it, and you could see I have downloaded it here. So create thumbnail is the zip file name. I just select it and just have to open it. I've already added it, so I'm not adding it again. So yeah, once you add it, you could see that this create thumbnail would be added here. So yeah, this is what you have to do. Now, now what this code is doing is, it is just resizing the image. It is giving the image new width, new height, and the resized image is being stored by the name of resized image. Then the image is getting saved, and the path which is being provided by you, the path resize path, I'll let you know how do you have to add it. Now the resize path is added. So I told you that the image, we are also adding SNS, like we are also adding the notification system, that we want the notification on our email. So we have also added a message with the resized image, that the image, then the image path will be added there, has been successfully resized. So this is the message that we are gonna receive on our SNS. So you could see here that the SNS published, the SNS details we are gonna add. Right now you just have to, this is the basic code that we are taking. It is gonna take the image path, take the SNS subscription name and the message from here, but from where it is gonna take the, now this is what the handler is. This is from where the image he is taking and where he is storing it. So the S3 bucket that we have provided, from there it is taking the image. The key is what the key here means, that the image name, what the image is being named as, that is what the key is. And then the download path is what he is storing the image as. Upload path is from where the image is being uploaded. And yeah, so this is the basic code for that. Now what you have to do after this is, you just have to go below and you could see this runtime settings. So you could just click on runtime settings and add it, and then you could see Python 3.9. Now on the handler thing, you won't be able to, you will be able to see something else written on your AWS console, but for now you have to change it to write the handler, just because the file that you have uploaded is named as create thumbnail. So the handler should be same as the file name. So now I have to change the handler. I have already changed it. So I've changed it dot create thumbnail dot handler is same. That is what you have to add, and then you have to just save it. So now it's already saved. So you could see that I have added a create thumbnail handler. Now apart from that, there's a layer. Since the code which you have written usually creates a problem when like it is used in a Windows or Python 3.9. So we usually add a layer in which Why do we add layer is because what the layer will be helping us with is that it helps us to run the code in whichever compatible runtime servers are there available. So the code will run on that. So right now we have added only Python 3.9. So if we won't add the layer, it is gonna run on 3.9 only, and if it is not compatible in your device, then it will create an error. So that is why we have to add a layer here, and inside the layer you could see um yeah, so let me just click on the layer and wait just a second. So yeah, you have to create a layer, and the layer, I'll just provide you the this ARN, which is, it is all everything that I'm telling you. It is all provided in the AWS documentation. So if you want, you could just go and take it from there, or I'll just provide in the description below. And you could see I have already added the layer, but then if you want to add a layer, you click on add a layer, and then you choose a specification ARN, and you just provide your ARN. This is what the ARN looks like, and it is, then you have to just verify it and add it. So once you have added it, it will look something like this, that the compatible version is 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. So whichever compatible version is according to your device, the code will run in that. Then apart from that, the configuration, you could see the general configuration. Right now, it's like the memory is using, it must be something else in your device, like 3 seconds it will be there, that by default. You have to add it. What 3 second is, that the Lambda function will only work till 3 seconds. But if your resizing thing and your code takes more than 3 seconds, then you have to add like more timeout. So for now, I have just added 1 minute of timeout and 512 MB, so that the Lambda is only gonna work until the all the things that it is working on is under 512 MB. Then yeah, you just have to change these two according to your preference, and then you have to save it. So right now I added 256 MB of memory, and timeout is 1 minute. Then now triggers, you could see which S3 bucket is gonna trigger it. Now we are gonna come to environmental variable. Now, what this is, I'll let you know. So, environmental variable is nothing but in the code of in a Python code, we have we are like storing the bucket in an environmental. We are storing the image in an environmental variable. Now, we could give any destination point to the environmental variable, and now if we add it in the environmental variable, it will fetch the details from environmental variable. Like supposedly, I've added S3 bucket and SNS ARN in the environmental variable. So automatically the destination will become all these two things. If you want to add a different thing, for example, you could like directly add the SNS thing here, and it won't get stored in the S3 bucket, the resized image. So right now I want my resized image to get stored in the destination bucket, and also I want to get notified via email. So I just provided a ARN for the SNS topic. Now, from where do you get the ARN? So here is you click on SNS, you go to your SNS, whichever you have created, and you just copy it from there. This. Now you're gonna edit it. Now you could add more environmental variable. So for the key, I have written S3 underscore bucket is because the code is reading it as like this. So that is why I've written it like this. And the values what I've given it, you could write a ARN here, or you could write the bucket name. Bucket name is what more preferable, because that is what someone can remember it as. Topic ARN, and here I have copied the SNSARN and paste it here. Now you have added two destination things. So what it does is, it will just store the image in the S3 bucket and topic it. Now everything is being configured. Now uh, since everything is configured, also when you're making the this Lambda function, make sure you created a role in the first stage. So you make sure you add that role, existing role. Yeah, I have already told you that. Now you have to add a test. Like you have to test this case. So you could write it like anything, resized, name it anything resized. And now you have to template is what S3 put. S3 put. So what it does is, it is gonna just put a test the following code which I provided uh, by putting the S3 put is what the that is he able to put the uh, resized image in the destination bucket or not. So S3 put is that template. So but here you have to just edit a few things, just like I told you key. So by whatever name you have, for example, right now my image name is 1.jpeg, and also here is what my over here you have to add your bucket name, like example bucket is what they have written it, but this is just a something else. So instead of this you could just write as practice source. Right now the my source bucket is this, my image is 1.jpeg, and my self change it to the source bucket name. Now you just have to change these two things, and it is just for testing purposes. Everything is automated, but just because you want to test it, so you could just like test it, and the execution is done. I'm pretty sure it is gonna get. So now the execution is done. What it means is that the image is stored in your AWS Lambda function, resized image. Now if you want to check it, let's just open uh, our destination bucket, and also let's open our Gmail just to check it. So here is the destination bucket, and you could just see that 1.jpg's image is saved. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. It is of 76 KB, and you could see the original image of 403 KB. So the image is resized. Also, I was telling you that the image is resized. So you could see a AWS notification on your email. What is says is the image, then this is the path of the image, and has been successfully resized. So you also get the AWS SNS notification on your email ID which you have added. So yeah, this is how you have done the AWS image resizing. And yeah, thank you. And in this video, you learned about AWS S3, AWS Lambda, AWS SNS. The all these using all these three services together, you could just resize the image and automate the process, everything on your own. So that, and also you get notified on your email as well. So this is how you like uh, create a image resizing tool. Thank you.